Alright, I'm not gonna hold off on this video anymore. I'm just gonna upload it. I don't care what happens. I've made this intro about 3 or 4 times, so I am tired. Whether he comes or not, I'm gonna discuss Nico Williams' transfer to Barcelona, if it makes sense, if it's a good signing, and I'm gonna put up a new system in place to judge his signing as a whole. It's gonna be called the Football Banter Space system. It is a proven system. It is based on pure facts, logic, and football genius, okay? So, how does this work? There's 4 categories and 25 points for each category, which in the end are added up for 100 points. That point sum is the grade that we will be given this transfer. The categories are as follows. T, which stands for tactical analysis, F, which stands for football analysis, B, which stands for balancing the books, and S, which stands for the special factor. This is what I'm going to be using for the rest of the summer, so get used to it, alright? I don't care if you don't like it. Tactical analysis. This is the easiest one. Nico Williams is a 1v1 touchline winger who can come inside and play 1-2s. He's a very two-footed player, which allows him to play in different roles, especially left wing and right wing, which are his primary roles. However, his main position, which he has played the most games, it is the left wing. And that is a position which Barcelona as a team does not have. He has not had a proper left winger since Neymar. And yes, Dembele does not count. That guy's a bum. However, jokes aside, I do think that Nico Williams, tactically speaking, is a Dembele replacement for Barcelona. That pure winger which they lack this season with João Felix not able to do that as much. In terms of tactical fit, he goes straight into that left wing spot. He starts. He's the best left winger you have. It is perfect tactical fit. He can also play right wing if Yamal or Rafinha need rest, or maybe you want to switch up the game plan a little bit. If you want more corners in, what you do is you play Koundé at right back, which offers you that defensive solidity, and you put Nico on that right wing, which again, he will hug that touchline and go for crosses in. So it creates sort of like a wing back position for him right there, but a more attacking one, obviously. So tactically fitting, he fits both sides of Barcelona's team, left and right. I do think with Balde, it's going to be interesting to see how they mesh together. I feel like Nico Williams is a guy that doesn't really require a lot of help on that wing, but if he gets it needed to be somebody with a little bit of a better passing ability, which creates insane pressure on that back line. So I don't know about tactical fit with Balde necessarily, but Barcelona does also have the young Mikael Faye, which I think will be a surprise this season. He can play left back, a more defensive left back. Think of him as the Koundé of the left back spot. So I think if you play Faye on that left back position and you put Nico Williams on the left, it works amazingly. Last but not least, I think that width that he provides, it is crucial for Lewandowski. One of the biggest issues why he struggled last year is because he didn't have space. He didn't have width. Everybody could just clutter right in front of him, the zone in front of him, and not let him score. It was too easy. Also, the midfielders will undoubtedly gain a lot of space from this. We've seen Pedri and Olmo perform very well in the midfield due to the space that Nico Williams provided. And now if you have Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal on the right and left wing, just like Spain, Barcelona will have a lot of space, a lot of ability on the counterattack, a lot of speed, a lot of physicality, and a lot of creativity straight off the bat, something they did not have this season with João Felix, Rafinha, Ferran Torres playing on that left wing. So tactically speaking, this is a 25 out of 25. I have no complaints. It's exactly what Barcelona need on that left wing profile. Now, moving on to football ability. Now, in this category, we're going to talk about his pure footballing ability. As a footballer, he's a great 1v1 player. He's two-footed. He has a lot of speed. He has a lot of physicality. However, where I think he differs from Dembele is that he actually has a brain, a footballing brain, and he has the finish ability to perform in those big games, which Dembele never could. He's shown it on the Euros final. He does get a lot of assists. However, I'll say is a very volume-based assist maker. He's not really a quality one. I would say Yamal crosses, whenever he gets them, they're always dangerous, but he doesn't do a lot of them. He waits for the right opportunity. I think Nico Williams is a little bit of the reverse. He tries to cross a lot from many different angles and create danger wherever he can. And that's not necessarily bad when you have Lewandowski, who needs a lot of chances to score nowadays with his age. So you have a combination of quality crosses from the right and quantity crosses from the left. In terms of dribbling, I think he's an amazing dribbler into space. Don't get me wrong. There's an art of dribbling that is very different from what most people consider dribbling. I think Nico is amazing when dribbling into space. However, when you lock down those teams, he tends to struggle a little bit to find the right decision. There definitely is an area of improvement right there, but he's nowhere near as bad as a Dembele in terms of decision making. I've seen him do travelas. I've seen him score with travelas, the outside of his foot. I've seen him cross with the outside of his foot. I've seen him do a couple chip shots as well. So I do think in terms of ball striking, he does have stuff to it. I don't think it's at the level of like a Yamal. He doesn't have necessarily that curve to his shots, but I do think he is a great shooter of the ball. Now, I know a lot of people are hyped about him right now because he performed so well in the Euros, and he performed very well for Athletic, winning them a Copa del Rey. But I think you need to lower a little bit of expectations of him. He's no Neymar. Like, let's relax a little bit. In terms of footballing ability, I would say he's a great one, but he is not necessarily on that complete Ballon d'Or level potential. I don't see that with Nico Williams. I see him max a tier right below that. For example, I see him near the level of a Rodrigo. That's his max for me. Basically a dangerous player that can play a big part in most games, but not necessarily Ballon d'Or level. Therefore, in terms of footballing ability, I'll give him a 20 out of 25. I can't just give him 25 because he's not that level yet. In terms of balance of the books, this section covers the transfer fee and the value for money of the transfer. We do know Nico Williams' release cost is 58 million. That's how much Barcelona has to pay. However, the difference with a release cost and a regular purchase is that Barcelona has to pay that immediately. And that is the only issue I have with this price. It is only such a big issue because of Barcelona's financial conditions right now. If it was 4 or 5 years ago, this would not be a problem. This would be a steal. 58 million is nothing for Nico Williams, considering they have wingers like Mudryk going for 90 million. You have Anthony, who came from the Dutch league, going for 100 million. Barcelona can definitely consider this a value purchase, especially considering that after the Euros, his value has shot up to over 100 million. So technically, Barcelona are almost getting a player for half his value. There's some other reports about some Basque club taxes. I'm not sure about that. It's not yet clear if this is true or not. So I don't want to put this in a video and be wrong and give false information. Until there's more info on it, I will leave it as is. 58 million as the release clause. The only issue that I drop points is because of the release clause, and also because there might be potential extra taxes that we might have to be included. And also, Nico Williams' wages are very high. Athletic Club does pay their players a lot of money for them to stay there. So they're saying that his wages are already at 200K a week. That is a significant amount, but it's not necessarily crazy. Like, Barcelona can't afford that. They make a couple sales here and there, especially if they go into the one-on-one rules. So I don't necessarily think that wage is unattainable. For a player of his stature, I think it's fair. Therefore, I'm going to stick with my 20 out of 25 rating in terms of price and balance in the books. Last but not least, it's a special factor. What does this player bring as a special something? It's those external factors that are not shown in data books or stats. What is that? I think he does bring a lot. In terms of marketing, along with Lamine Yamal, that duo, marketing-wise, it's pure football. That's what people come to see. That's why people love Spain so much. It's mostly because of these two. I mean, yeah, Rodri, Pedri, Olmo, all these guys, great and all, but the real reason people watch Spain, really love Spain, and why Spain plays so well is Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. So in terms of enjoyment, he brings that 100%. He brings that daring football, that dribbling football that Barcelona fans are used to seeing, that they demand, that they haven't seen in a minute, really, especially on both flanks. Also, I mean, you can say he's stupid wherever you want, but people like Dino were really iconized because of his smile, because of his hair. Stuff like that matters. Aesthetics matters. It's the truth. Like, hate whatever you want. When fans see a player like Nico Williams, it shows confidence. I do think stuff like that adds to the value of the players, adds to the enjoyment, adds to the beauty of the sport in terms of fans' views. In addition to that, marketing-wise, Nico Williams is Spanish. It creates this Spain contingent in Barcelona yet again. They are the team to follow in Spain in terms of how many players they put there. So he helps marketing wise to keep the local fans entertained and watching Barcelona, supporting Barcelona. Last but not least, it's the chemistry aspect. It's the most important aspect. He has amazing chemistry with Lamine Yamal. He's great friends with a lot of other players. We've seen him hanging out with Balde a lot. In fact, he also said himself that Balde is the guy that introduced him to Lamine Yamal. So he's good friends with Balde. He's good friends with Kubarsi. Pedri and Gavi are also there. It creates a lot of good vibes, and the chemistry which does show on the pitch. It's important for these players to get along with each other. And I think that is probably the most important special factor that Nico Williams brings in this team. Chemistry equals playing good equals winning equals fan enjoyment equals money equals better players equals playing better, and there you go. It keeps going on and on and on. Therefore, in terms of special factors, I will give this a 25 out of 25. There is no negatives at all in this signing. That is the full breakdown of the football banter space grading system. Williams does end up with a 90 out of 100 grade, which is a A+. I'm gonna give it an A+. Let me know what you think about the grading system. Let me know if I was right or wrong. What would you give him in terms of points? Like, how do you consider this signing? Do you consider I was too optimistic? Do you consider I was too negative on it? I thought it was very fair. You have to consider that 100 out of 100 is regarded for those amazing signings, those legendary signings. So Nico Williams is just under that, and I think that's a fair spot to put him there. Now, I'm going to give my quick, short thoughts. 1000%, this is a signing that Barcelona must complete. If they do not, it will be a very long and difficult season. He fits the team. He gets along well with most of the team. He's not that expensive. Get this signing over the line. He must play in Barcelona next season. But that is all, man. Thank you guys for watching yet again. Let me know in the comments down below which other transfer or player you want me to cover using this system. Like, turn on the bell notification, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.